time is ripe. The world is ready. You are going to experience literally Paramashiva. Most powerful, intangible but definitive, intense processes. This is the most powerful spiritual nuclear explosion, the strong force of Kailasa landing on planet Earth directly. One thing I can be sure, you will not exist end of the program. I can guarantee that. Only Paramashiva will be there. I welcome all of you, the whole world, to come and celebrate, enjoy not only the enlightenment ecosystem, the beauty of how it is getting revived. Be an insider for this great revival process. If you are an insider even for a startup company, you will understand not only the result of the company, even that being an insider is such a joy. Being an insider, when it was happening, is something extraordinary. So, I welcome all of you to come and be part of an insider of this revival of Kailasa, the enlightenment ecosystem, sovereign order of Kailasa, Kailasa nation itself. I request and welcome, invite all of you to become e-Kailasian, get your free e-passport and make billions receive this free e-passport. What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost.
Modern science says that all that exists, whether manifest or unmanifest, is a probability. Infinite probabilities create a quantum field of infinite potential. An observer collapses the probability wave into a particle. Your intention thus creates the reality. Called the observer effect, it is the very act of observation that precipitates any reality into existence. Hinduism is far advanced than this primitive understanding in the modern day. Hindus know this field of infinite potential as Paramashiva. Paramashiva permeates everything, manifest and unmanifest. He is intelligent, compassionate, and a myriad other auspicious qualities. Our scriptures provide detailed descriptions of how to invoke His presence on the earthly plane, the visualizations that manifest Him, the mantras, sounds that invoke Him, how He looks, His various dimensions, the actions that please Him and have His blessings rain on you, the times in the past when He has manifested for us and led us through a breakthrough. Hinduism knows the art of communing with Paramashiva to manifest any reality we want. And when our effort and all the knowledge isn't enough, He Himself incarnates in human body to show us how, to liberate us, to show us where we are stuck, to take us to oneness. Pratyaksha Pada Puja to His Divine Holiness Paramahamsa Nithyananda, Paramashiva incarnate. Sit at His sacred feet. Let Him awaken you to your field of infinite possibilities, to your oneness with Him. Register now. Pratyaksha Pada Puja.
KAILASA is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. I'll start from the basics and give you the best of the best of Vedas and Agamas. Listen. Purpose of life is enlightenment. Enlightenment means having the ultimate truth, the most powerful, ultimate truths as your operating inner software.
I bless you all.
let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्याधिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतम् भावाधीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. Nithyanandam, welcome each and every one of you sitting with us, joining us, watching Nithyananda TV, Kailasa's official TV channel. In today's segment for Nitya Satsang, we'll be looking about the Kayakalpa Yoga and why that science is important to the world. Why does modern man need the science of Kayakalpa? My name is Suniti Mangalananda Maharaj, and I'll be with you here today as we go through today's segment.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva.
Sorry for the technical glitch. Before we enter directly into the segment, let me give you all a brief introduction to the supreme pontiff of Hinduism and to the Kailasa nation. The supreme pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the reviver of Kailasa, the enlightened civilization, the greatest and the only Hindu nation. Adepts of the science of reincarnation in Hinduism recognized Swamiji, whom we lovingly call as the avatar of Paramashiva at a very tender age. Revered and worshipped now as the living incarnation of superconsciousness by millions, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has manifested the best contributions of Hinduism to the world, including the science of power manifestation, yoga, and temple-based universities. The Kailasa nation is a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation which does not put importance on its territory alone. Kailasa is revived by the present living incarnation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Yogananda yearned for it. Vivekananda visualized it. Yogananda yearned for it. Aurobindo accelerated it. Osho worked for it. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi mandated it. And due to their sincere efforts and hard work for the last 200 years and with all of their blessings, Swamiji has been able to manifest Kailasa for all of us. Kailasa's supreme aim is to serve the religious and spiritual needs of 2 billion Hindus and the whole of humanity. Therefore, Kailasa is a consortium of multiple micronations, educational institutions including Hindu universities and schools, the Gurukulas, de facto spiritual embassies, temples, temple monastery complexes, nunneries, food banks, the Annamandirs, animal shelters, Goshalas, libraries, Jnanalaya, the organic farming, and more. So, entering into today's segment, Kayakalpa Yoga, live beyond the life. So, let's first look at some facts of how the world is today. At a global level, 7 of the 10 leading causes of death in 2019 were non-communicable diseases. These 7 causes accounted for 44% of all deaths or 80% of the top 10. However, all non-communicable diseases together accounted for 74% of deaths globally in 2019. So throughout this presentation, we're going to be looking about how more people are dying from not because of old age. They are dying either mainly because of diseases, not even because of road accidents or terrorist attacks or even murders or suicides. The leading factor for deaths across the globe is diseases. And we're going to be looking a little bit more deeper and further into that. The average life expectancy decreased from 78.9 years in 2014 to 78.7 years in 2015 and remained unchanged between 2015 to 2016, and then again decreased from 2016 and 2017 to the current 78.6 years. And while this decreased number may look small, if you go down this line, continue to go down this path for the next couple of years, then we'll soon be looking at a 70-year life expectancy, not very far away, but within the next 5 to 10 years. The 10 leading causes of death remained the same from 2016 to 2017. Heart disease, cancer, unintentional injuries, chronic lower respiratory diseases, strokes, Alzheimer's disease, diabetes, influenza, pneumonia, kidney disease, and suicide. The top risk factors for premature mortality are diet, high blood pressure, obesity, and tobacco use. Tobacco remains the second leading risk factor, despite the 37% decrease over the last 2 decades. Standardized rates in current smoking prevalence. Cardiovascular diseases are the leading cause of death globally. The second biggest causes are cancer, followed by diabetes and respiratory diseases. Deaths from causes such as infectious diseases, malnutrition, nutritional deficiencies, neonatal and maternal deaths are common and in some cases dominant across low and middle income nations. In Kenya, for example, the leading cause of death remains diarrheal diseases. In South Africa and Botswana, the leading cause of death is HIV and AIDS. So as you can see through all of these facts, figures, statistics, no one is dying because there's a very low number of people who are dying because of old age and a natural death. Majority of all deaths which are happening globally are fundamentally due to some or the other illness, especially related to the heart. Coming to India, as the statistics in the graphic show, heart, respiratory, diarrhea and chronic renal diseases along with tuberculosis, asthma and neonatal disorders kill lakhs of Indians every year. But diseases aren't the only killers. In India, close to 500 people die each day in traffic accidents alone. It is clear that in some countries, daily deaths have reached rates 50% or higher than the historical average of time period. If you can see here in this graph, these lines which are grey in color, this is the previous year and the lines in red is 2020, and you can see how there's a sudden spike, be it in the United States or in England or in Spain and Netherlands. It has spiked up drastically compared to previous years. These statistics show the daily death per country based on 2017 data. So per day we have 28,000 people dying in China, 25,000 people dying in India, 7,000 in the US, 5,000 in Russia, and the numbers go on. And it's not just disease and road accidents or physical factors which lead to premature death. Loneliness and social isolation are an ever-growing complex challenge in society, with Beaumont reporting in 2013 that 59% of adults aged over 52 with poor health say that they feel lonely often. This new study has presented concerns about the effect it has on the heart and risk of premature death. The study investigated over 13,000 patients with ischemic heart disease, arrhythmia, heart failure, or heart valve disease, and whether a poor social network was associated with an exacerbation of these conditions. So this research study directly proves that because of loneliness, people feeling that they're alone and that they're orphaned directly impacts their heart, has a physical impact on their body, and is a prominent cause for them to die prematurely. The science of Kayakalpa is working on sound. by being established in silence. Not just verbal silence, but mental silence, where only you and existence are there. It is just a beautiful music between you and existence. Before we continue into the further parts of this presentation, along with myself, I have few devotees, disciples joining us from various parts of the globe. We have along with myself, I have Sri HDH Nithyananda Paramashivam and Sundaresh Maharaj, all of them joining us from different parts of the world to be here today, to be a part of today's segment. Thank you all so much for coming today and being a part of today's Kayakalpa Yoga segment. So before we continue any further, why don't you all go ahead and introduce yourself. We can start with Sundaresh Maharaj. Maharaj, please go ahead and introduce yourself, and after our introductions we can continue and go ahead with the presentation. Please go ahead.
Nithyananda, everybody. Excuse me for my voice, but my name is Trinitya Sundareshwarananda Balasan from the Nithyananda Gurukul, and I've been in the Nithyananda Gurukul living with Swamiji over the last 10 years and directly receiving the guidance, blessings, and living the superconscious lifestyle and reaching it out to as many people as possible in every way that Swamiji is constantly sharing with every one of us. So today, I'm here on the panel for this beautiful Vakyartha Sadas on Kayakalpa Yoga. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Maharaj. Ashtosha, Srinitya Ashtosha, why don't you go ahead next and introduce yourself for all of yours. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Maharaj. My name is Srinitya Ashtoshananda. I was born in Montreal, Canada. I met Swamiji in 2014 in the Inner Awakening that was conducted in Varanasi, Kashi, India. It was literally a life-changing experience, which led me into taking and receiving Swamiji's initiation into Karma Brahmacharya 2014. I've been with Swamiji since then, and the Sangha as well. So looking forward for today's Vakyartha Sadas. Thank you for having me on the board. Nithyananda.
Yes, thank you so much, Ashutosh Ananda, for coming today, being a part of today's segment. Sriniti Nyanatmananda, why don't you go ahead next and introduce yourself for all of yours. Please go ahead.
Nithyananda Maharaj, thank you. I've been initiated, blessed by Swamiji with the spiritual name of Sri Nithyananda. And I'm from Canada. I was working and living as an elementary school teacher and computer engineering technologist. And I traveled to India in 2009 for the Inner Awakening program. And I've been living a full-time spiritual lifestyle since 2011. And I was initiated into the path of Brahmacharya in 2015 by Swamiji. And since then, understanding more about the trajectory of the world and the educational systems and how Kailasa fits into that and what are the spiritual needs. And so it's been extremely enlightening, and look forward to sharing and growing and sharing more of this with the world. Thank you, Nithyananda.
Thank you so much, Sriniti Nyanatmananda, for coming today, being a part of this segment, being a part of this panel. Ranushan, please go ahead and introduce yourself for all of yours. Please go ahead.
Nithyananda, thank you, Maharaj. My name is Ranushan Edmund, and I'm from Toronto, Canada. And I'm an initiated disciple of Swamiji. I've gotten to know Swamiji since around 2013. Really, the first click that happened where the life transformed was Swamiji's call to action for the Cambodia IA. And since then, it's just been consistent intensity with continuity. I ended up eventually being able to receive Swamiji's physical darshan in Paramashivoham. And really, it's just been one continuous I can say journey, explosion, so many things I could put, but really every disciple knows the experience that I want to convey. And yes, I'm really excited for this Vakyartha Sadas about Kayakalpa Yoga, as the science of sound is a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. Thank you. Nithyananda.
Yes, thank you so much, Ranushan, for coming today, being a part of this panel discussion. So let's get through the exactly what is Kayakalpa. If you think the person in front of you doesn't know something or you need to convey, you will talk to that person. But here, only Paramashiva and you exist. Paramashiva knows everything before even you think. So there's nothing to think, nothing to talk, nothing to communicate. When you sit with this cognition, you experience Mano-Mauna, the mental silence. In Swamiji's own words, my guru Isaki Swamigal was a great yogi. One day, he announced that he is going into the Jiva Samadhi. Just like that, he sat and then immediately went into the Jiva Samadhi. That's all. His body became stiff. People around were preparing the ground with vibhuti, salt and vilva to bury him. But there was a problem. Isaki Swamigal was in the half lotus posture, the Ardha Padmasana. According to scriptures, Jiva Samadhi should be built only when the yogi is in the full lotus posture, in Padmasana. His disciple, Mata Vibhudanandapuri, who is Swamiji's guru, told Swamiji to do something. Everyone was scared that if we move the legs and keep it in Padmasana, if we do some damage, it is a great sin. Jiva Samadhi yogis are like an atomic power station. Swamiji was scared and confused. Swamiji just prayed to Isaki Swamigal, Ayyane, what is this Leela? And immediately, Isaki Swamigal's leg opened up itself and closed and sat in Padmasana. There are still proof, some people are living proof who saw this with their real eyes, really real. And here we have a picture on the side of the Guru Parampara of Isaki Swamigal and Mata Vibhudanandapuri and the supreme part of Hinduism, Swamiji, himself sitting there on the Guru Pita at Panchamukam in Tiruvannamalai. The Kayakalpa lifestyle is extremely simple. Being in silence, the Ajapa Japa, continuous chanting the Mahavakya and doing Nithyananda Yoga 3 times a day. With these lifestyle practices, the body becomes extremely pure and detox. Swarupa Samadhi is the highest state in Hindu tradition which can be manifested through the science of Kayakalpa Yoga. Neem juice, argambul juice, vilva juice and various herbal juices and other herbs are used for detoxing the whole body to align it with the Swarupa Samadhi. With Kayakalpa, you will become healthy. The whole body will get filled with the Kundalini Shakti. So, this is going to have a small presentation about the Kayakalpa science, and Swamiji himself has elaborately spoken about the science of Kayakalpa in multiple satsangs. So, today's discussion, we're going to be looking at how the world has ended up in this situation where people are not dying because of natural causes, they are not dying because of old age, but they are dying mainly because of diseases, and the heart disease in particular, cardiovascular disorders, and the other major disorders, diseases with which people are suffering with are all dominantly heart related. Why is the world suffering so much from heart related disorders? Why are so many people dying from heart related disorders, and how can the Kayakalpa program help them in fulfilling, in protecting, in healing, giving completion to their emotional problems, to their heart, and enrich them, fundamentally increasing the longevity of a person's life. Actually, if you were there with us in yesterday's discussion, where it is Srinitya Ashutosh had shared a beautiful point of why we should not commit suicide, how this body is a gift to us, given to us, granted to us, not just gifted to us, but a choice which we have taken, a conscious choice which we have taken, we have asked for, and we have assumed this body. And committing suicide is nothing but just throwing away that chance, throwing away that possibility, and letting everything get dissolved. Kayakalpa program is increasing that possibility, allowing you to fulfill the purpose what for you came to this planet, what for you have decided to assume the body, and to increase and live not just a healthy life but a happy and blissful life as well. So, coming back to the questions, why is the world suffering so much from heart related problems, and how will the Kayakalpa program help them to come out and bring completion in their emotional aspects? Sundaresh Maharaj, maybe you can start off the discussion for us by maybe giving a diagnosis on why the world is suffering so much from heart-related disorders. Please go ahead, Maharaj.
Yes, thank you very much, Maharaj. So what I actually feel on this particular issue is that the reason of the heart-related problems, or for this case, any problem which is not natural but created. So that's what is actually taking the biggest toll on life. Whether it's accidents or whether it is diseases, those are created by each and every one of us based on our body. So I think at the very fundamental level, the cognition, the idea that we have about our body, the idea that we have about God, about the people around us, about the individual self, all of these are directly contributing, and all of these are having a direct impact on our health. Just to take any one little angle and aspect of it. For example, as Swamiji always says, if we think life is just like one birth, okay, which many of us think and are living with, that one cognition is enough to destroy the entire human body that we have. Because just with that one cognition, thinking that we just have one life, so we want to dump our body with the extremes of everything, try out everything, taste everything, just do everything that is possible, humanly possible, thinking that this is the only thing, and then you destroy yourself. So somewhere I feel that at a fundamental level, because our ideology about who we are, who the world is, and who is God, at these levels itself, because there is I can say, a lack of knowledge, or just trying to find a better word, where we are really in a situation where we don't know what life is at all. And I think that is the leading cause of why deaths happen. And cardiovascular disease is one of the biggest disguises I think it uses. But again, there's something else that is much more deeper to it, is what I feel. And I'd like to hear from every one of you your thoughts on the same.
Yes. One click that I got from what you shared, Maharaj, is the space of not having clarity about the Jiva Ishvara Jagat, the world, the self, and God, universe, all that is. Not having clarity about these things brings the space of, I can even say, kind of like the tantrum throwing child, where they start blaming everyone and everything for whatever's going on. And then from there, it's like Swamiji shares, or how I remember Swamiji sharing, is when you start hating somebody or having vengeance against somebody, you're actually putting poison into yourself. You're trying to kill the other person by eating the poison. It makes no sense. So the solution is what? It's the completion, having clarity about what is life, having the right cognitions about life, having the right cognitions about the Jiva, Ishvara, Jagat, having the mature conversation with life. When the mature conversation with life starts to happen, naturally you start to form the tools to start handling the life. You start to develop the tools to start handling not just the world around you, but also you start to develop the tools to handle your own self. The capacity to handle yourself, the swatantra, starts to develop. And so when this swatantra starts to develop in anybody, then the real joy for life starts to happen. Then the real diagnosis starts to happen. You can actually look in and see, why am I manifesting what I'm manifesting? Why is this health issue happening like this? What can I sincerely do to attend to it? It's never the compulsive reactions, never the compulsive behavior. It's mature conversation with Jiva, mature conversation with Ishvara, mature conversation with Jagat. When the mature conversation with life starts to happen, the health starts to manifest. Not just the physical health, but the real conscious health. The conscious health is actually very related to the conscious wealth, where your very expression of life is such a healthy expression. It's such a rich, organic expression. And in this space, not even just talking about the physical health now, and even the mental health, There's no question of even being depressed. There's no question of being under some physical illness, some, how to say, these incurable illnesses, I can say. There's no question of this because you know what is going on. You know, and if you don't know, then you know how to have the right conversation. You know how to use the right tool. You have the clarity about what needs to be done. And so this is one click that's starting to develop about the space of why are we manifesting all these diseases in life, but also how to address it. How can each individual start looking in and seeing, okay, what is going on in the body? How can I address this? Once every individual starts to look in and see what is going on, then the number of deaths due to self-inflicted illness drastically drops. So this is my initial take on this subject. Thank you.
Yes, adding on to that, for me, what I see is see all the problems we have, cardiovascular problems included, are born out of life negative cognitions. And the Kayakalpa program, or the Kayakalpa science, which Swamiji has brought back, is a science which raises you, it detoxes your body, it raises your awareness so that you can have a deeper listening within yourself, in your inner space, and you can identify these life negative cognitions and change them with powerful cognitions. In the Kayakalpa, Swamiji, he makes us, he guides us towards how do we manage our words outside, the words inside, like doing yoga, having the detox. Swamiji said that the root of all the problems are basically the pattern of hunger and sleep. And the Kayakalpa Yoga is a program which directly tackles the root, the hunger and the sleep. So by engaging with the hunger and the sleep and bringing completion, deeper and deeper completion with the hunger and the sleep, the awareness raises in the being, and with this awareness, he can drop life negative cognitions and become life positive, become more and more active and alive. And that's how I see the Kayakalpa science being a blessing and a solution for hard problems, but for much more than just hard problems. So that would be my initial take on the Kayakalpa regarding cardiovascular issues and other issues that humanity is facing today.
Yes, thank you so much, Ranoshan. Thank you so much, Ashitosha, for sharing your initial take on why you think the world is suffering so much from heart-related disorders, cardiovascular, heart disease, and how loneliness is actually contributing towards these problems of heart disease. If you see the heart, it's the Anahata chakra, where it's directly related to your emotional well-being and the attention need which you seek, and feeling lonely, feeling that you have no one to support you in the world, you feel like an orphan. I think this is something which is very prevalent among many people around the globe, and as the statistics themselves show, loneliness directly affects people, and people who suffer from these kind of cardiovascular diseases, these kind of heart diseases, most of them have reported that they feel lonely and they do not have a strong social network. So fundamentally, the problem of today's world, of today's society, is not even the diseases or the way it's being combated, but fundamentally everyone feeling that they are lonely, that they are an orphan, that they have no one out there to look out for them, that they are abandoned. And actually that is the leading cause of all the diseases which we are facing today. Loneliness is the leading cause, not heart disease, not cardiovascular disease, but loneliness. Loneliness is the root of where cardiovascular diseases and other heart diseases, everything else emerges from. If we can give completion, if completion is given in that aspect of a person's life, if they are made to understand that there's no such thing as being alone, being lonely in the world. It is the whole space of Advaita, fundamental principle of Advaita is that where you everything you see, be it your laptop, be it a person in front of you, everything is in the same space of oneness, is in the space of Advaita. Giving this experience of Advaita to the world, making them understand that they are not a single island, that maybe on the surface, from a bird's eye view, we may all look like individual islands, but underneath, all the islands are connected together. And there's so, in this very example itself, there's so much Swamiji himself has spoken about how we are all in that space of Advaita, and we are all not individual islands. No matter how much we would like to think that we may or may not be individual islands, we are all very much interconnected. So I think fundamentally giving everyone this understanding of the space of Advaita will help in curing all heart-related diseases and cardiovascular diseases. Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, is there anything you would like to add at this point?
Yeah, Nithyananda, thank you very much. Yeah, it's great. It's super to be part of a group of young men who are talking about this. Yeah, I've since about 1999 been working mostly full-time with youth, from the ages, from even in preschools up to seniors, and from all perspectives. I actually grew up as an ice hockey player, but yeah, it's Swamiji, it's just, that's what, right? The discourse, like even, even the mainstream media discourse, maximum you get is like a political analyst, right? You get an attack, or you get a suggestion that we should move in some direction, or a legal attack, or a criticism, but there's just no solutions. There's just no solutions. And so, obviously, the sort of irony is that there are solutions available, but, it's not spoken about, and that's not accidental. Even British writing from even, 1800s is very, 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 very clear, very, very, very clearly knowing, even 1700s, very, very, very clear about what's happening in India is, for hundreds of years before that, they're receiving shipments from India. So, but even statements of, obviously Macaulay and whatnot, on the state of Indian civilization is very, very, very clearly there is not a beggar anywhere. Even the farmer in the rice field knows more about Atma and the cycle of life and incarnation than even the highest society of the European civilization. So yeah, so it's, it's there, but it's just not taught. And that's the thing. I heard the other day, I heard a mother say to her son, he was experiencing some strife, some conflict. The mother said, just tell me what you want and I'll give it to you. And I just thought, yeah, that's the problem. You can't buy what people need. You can't buy what people want. What they, what their soul needs. But there's this constant thing of what can I give to you that will, satiate your, lust or anger. And you know what you can give the enlightenment knowledge. And so that's always been my understanding of Kayakalpa, even as Bhishma declared his eternal brahmachari, is the Kayakalpa is the eternal life. And so what is that? And if you see the food, actually the food is how does the body respond to food? It immediately stops all other processes and says we have an emergency situation where if we don't start digesting and cleansing what's being put into the mouth, if we don't start immediately dealing to excrete that, to process it and get rid of it, we're gonna die. We're facing a life-threatening situation. That's how the system functions. If you start eating, all other systems stop in precedence to process the incoming food and get it out, because if you don't, you're gonna choke to death. So the body itself, the way that we view that we treat the body actually is sort of like a garbage bin. But what the body's doing is taking our life experience and purifying it and detoxifying it and allowing us to express. So we need to shift that understanding of what is the body from being a garbage bin that when it gets overloaded with food, it then collapses into sleep and wakes up in dizzy confusion of brain chemicals and flooded system of whatever else in a full intestine, to the body is this beautiful vehicle and possibility to purify whatever's put into it. And so that is sort of when the intestine is not constantly overloaded with shit and the need to constantly cleanse itself, that huge furnace cleansing capability can be put into not just cleansing being piled, completely inundated and covered in a bunch of gunk, but it can use that for further purification purposes. Every cell of the trillions of cells in our body is an expression of consciousness. And when that cell becomes purified to operate from inspiration as a source of energy, which we all know is a much greater source of energy than food, inspiration can break any laziness. So it's about just, shifting that discourse and understanding. So there's an ancient civilization that has all the solutions. It's just not, for many reasons, not told. And so not just young men and children, but the entire human civilization is stuck not being exposed to this.
So I would just like to add to Jnanatma Maharaj here. So as Jnanatma Maharaj was sharing some of the fundamental points, so one other thing that I also feel is that our idea that we carry about our body. Okay, so as he was telling, we treat our body as a dustbin. So we just keep dumping stuff into it and pretty much use it like a dustbin. And that's again very much obvious, especially in connection to the heart diseases, which is also the leading cause. Okay, just like how the attention and the loneliness is there, even the physical side of it. So whenever we feel lonely, what we actually do, many of us connect food with depression, loneliness, frustration, anger. So what we do is we immediately go and start stuffing ourselves, start drinking, eating, and what actually happens, so as Swamiji very, very beautifully says, the food that you eat is not just food. You eat everything else which comes along with it, which is the memories which each of that food holds. So naturally, when you're eating it, when you're frustrated or irritated, you're dumping that food which is negative into you more and more and more. So naturally, you are bolting that negative experience in your system permanently, or making it as a part of your muscles itself. That's what Swamiji says. Whenever you're in some confusion or whenever you feel powerless about something, do nirahara. It'll get you out of that confusion. That's because you're not dumping any more toxins inside your body, but rather letting your body eat itself and cleanse itself. So the Kayakalpa yoga itself is actually, I would say, a beautiful ecosystem that is given for every one of us, so that we are able to practice this science. We are able to live this science. As we know, if you want to become a doctor, you go to a school of doctors. Want to become a lawyer, you go to the place where law is practiced. So same way, people might ask, oh, I can stay at my house, I can do the detox, I can do the yoga, I'm doing the puja. But doesn't work that way, because there is something much more than that. If a normal profession itself needs you to take that kind of movement and go and learn with those professionals, then this superconscious science can only happen in the breathing space of an avatar, where the avatar, actually the enlightened master, in our case, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidanam Swamiji, he specifically energizes an ecosystem where this lifestyle can actually be practiced. Whether it is a lifestyle of silence, where you are just, there is no need of any external communication, or the lifestyle of Nirahara, or the Kutakesha, all of these various different lifestyles that Swamiji is designed for us to experience the Kayakalpa lifestyle. I think for experiencing that, you need to come and experience an ecosystem, so that the real potential of your body is experienced. Now we are looking at ages, lifespan dropping down to 78, but just maybe 1-2 generations earlier, be it our grandparents or great grandparents. We have seen them, we have heard of stories for sure where people live for over 100 plus years, and it has all just come down just like that. So I feel this science, as Swamiji said, he's reviving that very same science. So I think that is where Kayakalpa comes in. And it is one of the biggest gifts that Swamiji is giving the entire humanity. That's the way to live. So yes, so this is one other point I just wanted to add.
One very strong cognition that's happening now, as everybody's sharing, is the space of Kayakalpa is the space where you're in the Mano Mauna with Paramashiva. Meaning it's the space where it's a constant conversation with Paramashiva, where you know any word that you can say, whether outside or inside, Paramashiva already knows. So you're just sitting in the silence with Paramashiva, saying, knowing that any thought that's happening, any word that wants to happen, anything that's there, you already know. So the I can't even say it's a conversation, it's something completely else. That being said, the space of Kayakalpa is the space where earlier we were talking about the body, the heart, and these things, and how the heart is, the major block in the heart is the attention need. And especially when it comes to dumping food in the body and these kinds of things, because we're not paying attention to what the body is actually saying. We're not paying attention with the body saying, hey, no, it's enough. I have enough food. I have enough. Please stop. Because we're not listening to the body when it's speaking to us, we go on dumping food. We go on dumping different visual food, auditory food, sensory food, all these things. We go on dumping without ever listening to the body, without ever paying attention to the body, without even actually acknowledging the body. But in the space of Kayakalpa, in this ecosystem where Kayakalpa is happening, it's a space where you're constantly in the listening space. It's the Mano Mauna. You're always listening to Mahadeva. If Mahadeva says he's hungry, okay, let's go eat something. If Mahadeva says, okay, time for yoga, let's go do yoga. If Mahadeva says, okay, time for rest, you go rest. But it's always Mahadeva. It's always Paramashiva. Actually, one very strong click that's happening is with the Kayakalpa, the individual will actually starts to wither away, where it's only the Paramashiva's will that's manifesting, even physically. Physical manifestation is Paramashiva's will manifesting, where if Paramashiva is hungry, then the body goes to eat. If Paramashiva wants to rest, then we go to rest. If Paramashiva wants to do yoga, then the body goes for yoga. But it's this constant engagement with a constant, the heart is completely attended to. Attention is paid to the body, not just to the body, but to the very consciousness itself. Everything is there. It's real engagement with Paramashiva. So this is just a very one strong click that's happening about the science space and ecosystem of Kayakalpa, where it is bringing the attention back to living with Paramashiva. So this is just one strong click that I wanted to share.
Yes, thank you very much. And yes, that was actually another very strong thing that you had shared. Ashutosh Maharaj, what do you think about this particular aspect of it? Because when you had explained about how the negative emotions or the negative thought currents actually have a direct impact, how do you think, or what do you think is the importance of Kayakalpa, where it's very crucial to be in an ecosystem where you're actually protected during that particular time? What is your ideas, or what is your opinion on that, if you could share?
Yes, thank you, Maharaj. The Vatavarana, the environment in which you are, is extremely important, especially when you attend to these root patterns such as hunger and sleep during Kayakalpa. These are the main patterns you kind of tackle by engaging in this science, this Kayakalpa science. And when you start to look and sit with yourself and kind of learn how to relate to yourself again, relearn, there are many points where you become very vulnerable in a way that you could it's very easy for you to just fall into a life negative cognition, a life negative cognition that you would have cherished your entire life, and that you associated yourself with very strongly. So when you are in the right ecosystem, the chances that you are going to fall back into that life negative cognition is drastically reduced, which is important for you to have the breakthrough, for you to just fall on the other side, the life positive active side. I can share also a little bit from my experience. When I did the inner awakening in 2014, I used to be addicted to computer gaming for many years of my adolescence and young adult life. And within 21 days, it was over. 10 years of addiction just gone. Why? Because for 21 days, I was with Swamiji in an environment energized by him, where you were always encouraged to, to do different forms of, completion, or different forms of processes which help you to detox yourself, to raise yourself to higher frequencies. And when you do that, then the life negative cognitions, they simply wither away. When you stop feeding them, they just disappear. Swamiji says they're dead snakes. Once you stop infusing life into them, then you will just see it's only a dead snake. So in that way, that environment, the energy which is infused by Swamiji in the ecosystem in which the Kayakalpa is practiced, helps you tremendously. And this path, the path of is the path where you need support. You need the right support for you to be successful. We've been going through the cycle of life and death for janmas, for lives and lives, and just repeating the same patterns and thinking that you can postpone it, you can sleep it off, you can eat it off, but you can't. You have to complete it. You have to go through it, have a breakthrough, and raise yourself to the next level. So, so the right ecosystem makes that happen for you quickly. And obviously, what Swamiji is doing for us is amazing, because all the powerful cognitions every day he brings in a different angle. He creates so many different platforms in which you can engage, and in which you can you raise yourself constantly, and break these life negative patterns and all the health issues and other issues which are born out of these life negative cognitions. So that's one of the main thing I would share regarding the importance of the ecosystem, and everything which Swamiji is providing for us in order for that super conscious breakthrough to happen.
Yes, one thing I could add on to this is like you're sharing, it's the ecosystem is too important, really. One real click that's happening is when you're in an ecosystem where Kayakalpa is happening, you simply catch the science. You simply mirror the science. Even if it is taking you some time to imbibe, when you're in a whole ecosystem where every individual, the whole space is literally radiating the Kayakalpa, then it's like an incubator. It's very easy for you to not only pick up the science, but to settle in it, to settle in the science where it becomes first your muscle memory, then it sinks down to your bio memory, sinking down even further to your bioenergy. The space where having this vata varana, having the ambience where these constant, whether it's the actions or the cognitions or even the very vibrating, the listening space, all these three play a very important role in actually impacting even on the physical level, let alone the conscious level and the cognitive level. All these spaces are also there. But even on the physical level, having the vata varana, having the ecosystem where you can really settle into the science, it's almost like a guarantee that it'll happen.
Yes, thank you all so much for all the points you shared, understandings and the powerful cognitions which you all have delivered here. I would just like to add one thing to a point which Sundaresh Maharaj had been bringing out about why it is important, where you may think that it's nothing big, it's just the Nithyananda yoga, doing it 3 times a day, and the detox and a certain diet. Why can't we follow this from our home? Why is it necessary to come to an ecosystem, to come to either energy field like Vididi or Tirunamali, where the Kayakalpa program is happening. Another important reason for the Kayakalpa, and Swamiji himself was doing the Kayakalpa once back in 2000 before he started his public mission, and very recently, a couple of years back. An important aspect of the Kayakalpa program is going to seclusion. It's funny how the solution for feeling lonely is to withdraw yourself from society. As we actually went through the slides in today's presentation about the Kayakalpa Yoga, Kayakalpa is not just silence, it is about mental silence, without any without any verbalization externally or within yourself as well. And it's actually a very beautiful technique, how you bring yourself closer and closer to yourself and then finally dissolve yourself as well, where there's nothing, only Paramashiva left, only how when you start off the Kayakalpa process, it is you and Paramashiva. And then as the process goes and goes, finally you dissolve and it's only Paramashiva which is left. And when you come to that space, when you are living in that space of Paramashivoham, of living, breathing, irradiating, manifesting Paramashiva, that is when you experience the space of Advaita, experience the space of oneness. And ultimately it is oneness which is going to cure all of the world's problems. In previous segments, we've gone through different problems which society is facing, and how dysfunctional society has become due to these various problems. Though the problems and reasons for it may be many, the solution for it is the same. In Hinduism, it's not the Hindu Dharma. So many thousands of years ago, when our ancient rishis and siddhas, munis, when they designed our society, when they designed how society should function, it was out of the context, out of the fundamental principle of Advaita, of oneness. And that is why in whatever field it may be, we didn't have any problem. It was the perfect society. Compared to today's society which we are living in, today's modern dysfunctional society, each and every aspect, each and every profession, each and every facet of today's world has some or the other problem. We are faced with some or the other obstacle, faced with some or the other place where people are committing more and more suicides, more and more stress, more and more anxiety, for things which we may not even have a word for it in Sanskrit because it simply did not exist at the time. So, whatever it may be, finally coming to that space of Advaita, coming to that space of oneness is when we reiterate, when we iron out all our lives, everything which is happening in our lives, everything which is happening in society, when everything is ironed out with that one understanding of Advaita, we can save society, come out of this dysfunctional setup which we are currently living in.
Nithyananda Maharaj, is there just one more moment? I'd share just one more concept.
Yes, Sri Nithyananda, please go ahead. But be sure to keep it short. We have only a few minutes. For all our viewers, everyone watching us, Swamiji himself was going to be coming live and addressing all of us today as a part of the Nithyananda Satsang. So please stay tuned. Sri Nithyananda, please go ahead and share what you wanted to share. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Maharaj. Yeah, the only other thing is, if we look at planet Earth, there's a lot of beings coming here. And so what planet Earth is, it's an ecosystem. It's an environment where beings come to live. And so we have to say, okay, well, what are we reproducing for the beings that are coming here? And if we're not recognizing that beings are coming here and passing and going somewhere else, the environment we should be providing should support that, the longer reality, not just the few years that beings are here. Naturally, if you're going to a meeting, you would want that meeting to support the rest of your life, not to destroy the rest of your life. So the beings coming to planet Earth, we need to have the perspective of, okay, where are those beings coming from? Where are they going? What do they need? Let's support that. If we're not, then actually the ecosystem environment we're providing on planet Earth is actually destructive. So if we're killing the beings, if we're killing that life, if it's a life negative destruction of the purpose of life that is the environment we're creating on Earth, then it's actually destructive and death and life negative that we're creating for the beings coming here. So that is actually, we need to look at that. What environment are we encouraging on planet Earth for the beings that are coming here? And why are they coming here? What do they need? Because if we don't look at that bigger perspective of a longer term thing than just the 20 or 60 or 100 years that you're here, if we don't look at the bigger perspective, then the perspective we're providing is life negative and destruction. If you're not saying, yes, come to our meeting at planet Earth for a few years and we'll help you on your journey, then your perspective is naturally saying this is an end. And if you're treating Earth as an end, then you're ending the life. It's a destructive thing. So this is a unique contribution from Swamiji and Sanatana Hindu Dharma and Kayakalpa.
Yes, thank you so much, Sri Nithyananda. So actually we have a few more minutes until Swamiji joins us for the Nithyananda Satsang. I wanted to actually ask Ranoshan. Ranoshan, at the beginning of today's segment, you said that this science of Kayakalpa Yoga was something which is very close to your heart. So could you explain a little bit more about that? How the Kayakalpa has affected you, or how has it helped you in your life or in the life of a near and dear one to directly? Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Maharaj. There's one, I can almost say like a feeling connection with Kayakalpa is that it's almost the detox of the sound component of you. Detox of the very Shabda Nada, or the Shabda Tattva, the very base on which the sound, the vibration starts to happen on you. Or I can even say in simple terms, kind of like the inner chatter, like the very base of the inner chatter itself. And the strong feeling connection with Kayakalpa starts to happen when I really start to look in and seeing, okay, what is the being of Paramashiva? And how can we express this to each and every individual? How can we make it very user-friendly and easy? And really the space of the Mano Mauna, the space where the detox starts to happen even on the level of sound, even on the level of Shabda. When this starts to happen, then actually all the auspiciousness starts to happen. When the very, I can say the core fabric out of which you're made is detoxed, then everything else as a ripple effect also gets detoxed. Automatically you start eating right, you start doing yoga, you start enjoying the puja, you start going through the whole organic lifestyle. And so personally, what I feel is the science of Kayakalpa Yoga, if everybody at least has a taste of it, the whole life would be different. If the very base on which you exist is detoxed even for a second, your whole life is changed. Nothing will be the same. If even this space is touched for 1 second, everybody has some experience in life where it was a life-changing moment. It wasn't something that something builded up to it. No, it's always something that in that moment, it changed the whole life. And experience from here is this science of Kayakalpa. If you taste it even just for 1 moment, the space where just for that 1 moment, even the sound component of you is detoxed, just for a moment, then the whole thing shifts. And so, yes, it's just a space where personally, I can say in my life, I felt that when I was able to experience a space where even just for a moment, this complete, sincere listening space was there. That what, even it was just for a few months, the sincere listening space was there. After that, the whole life was different. The whole life was like, what is actually life? What is actually real? What is not real? Is everything that I'm seeing not real? Like the whole seeking started to happen just from touching this one space of the soundless space. As soon as that started to happen, then the whole path started to happen. Then the whole journey started to happen. But it was just that space where you take it taken away from what you're seeing as it is. And from there, then the real life starts to happen. The real exploration of life starts to happen. Like Sri Nithyananda was sharing, was the very reason you come down for the body, some purpose. It's a transition. As you're going through the transit, you're going here and you're making your time useful.
Connecting with the divine with your eyes closed is meditation. Connecting with the divine with your eyes open is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
शिवशक्त्या युक्तो यदि भवति शक्तप्रभवितुं न चेदेवं देवो न खलु कुशलः स्पन्दितुमपि अतस्त्वामाराध्या हरिहरविरिञ्चादिभिरपि प्रणन्तुं स्तोतुं वा कथमकृतपुण्य भवति तनीयां सम्पां तव जय
जदानां चैतन्यस्भकमकरन्धश्रुतिचरे दरिद्राणां चिन्तामणि गुणनिका जन्मजलदो निमग्नानां दंष्ट्रासुररिपूर्वराहस्य भवते. He sings the excellence of the dust particles on Devi's lotus feet, which are the essence of Devi herself and Devi's blessings. For the spiritual seeker, those same dust particles are like the sun that dispels all the darkness. When the spiritual knowledge dawns like the sun, the darkness of ignorance, the spiritual ignorance, fades away, thereby making us pursue the spiritual path with integrity and authenticity. The fragrance emanating from the dust or the nectar pollens that are there on the feet of Devi causes enlightenment. For those with spiritual knowledge, but for the poor men who seek the material goods, those specks of dust only appear like gems. For those who are deeply immersed in the ocean of material world, Devi's dust particles on her feet are like the tusk of Varaha. The Varaha Avatara of Mahavishnu lifted the Bhuma Devi, the Mother Earth, from the depths of the ocean of Pralaya. In the same way, Devi lifts all of us who are in the depths of material ignorance and makes us pursue the path of enlightenment. Devi is the most compassionate mother. She helps all of us attain Paramashivatva just as a mother would go on to meet all the demands and tastes of each and every one of her children. Let us now offer our gratitude to Utsava Rajarajeshwari and Mula Rajarajeshwari Devi here in Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalaya and receive their grace and blessings. Sindhuraruna Vigraham Manikya Taranayaka Shekaram Smitamukhim Napena Vaksham Panibhyam Purnatma Chashakam Raptatpalam Bibhratim Samyam Ratnaghatasta Ratna Charanam Dhyayet Paramambhikam Aranam Karunatarangitakshem Dhriyapasham Kushapushpahana Chapam Animabhagavritam Nayokiri Ahanityeva Vibhavaye Bhavani. Srimad Rajarajeshwari Paramashivam नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति श्रीमद् राजराजेश्वरी पराभट्टारिका दीपं दर्शयामि। अमृतोद्भवे अमृतवर्षिणे अमृतं श्रावय श्रावय स्वाहा। श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति श्रीमद् राजराजेश्वरी पराभट्टारिका अमृतं नैवेद्यं निवेदयामि। अमृतोद्भवे अमृतवर्षिणे अमृतं श्रावय श्रावय स्वाहा। नैवेद्यानन्तरम् आचमनीयं समर्पयामि। नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति श्री मद्राजराजेश्वरी पराभट्टारिका कल्पवृनीराजनं संदर्शयामि। Today, the Utsava Vigraha of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is gracing in the Alankara as Kaumari Mata. Let us now receive the blessings and grace of Swamiji's deity here in the temple. शिवशक्त्या युक्तो यदि भवति शक्त प्रभवितुम् न चेदेवं देवो न खलु कुशलः स्पन्दितुमपि अथस्त्वामाराध्यं हरि हरि विरिञ्चादिभिरपि प्रणन्तुं स्तोतुं वा कथमपुण्यप्रभवति। नैवेद्यं निवेदयामि आरात्रिकं समर्पयामि भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव चरण कमलेभ्यो नमः। मंगलं कल्पवृक्षाय मंगलं ज्ञानदायिने सदाशिवाय श्री नित्यानंदेश्वराय मंगलं। मंगलं श्री विद्यान्दाय मंगलं कामदायिन्ये सर्वमंगलदात्रे नित्यानंदेश्वर्ये मंगलं। मंगलं गुरुदेवाय मोक्षमूलाय मंगलं परावतार नित्यानंदाय गुरवे मंगलम्।
नित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिवसमारम्भाम् नित्यानन्देश्वरि पराशक्तिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। I welcome you all with my love and respect. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, samajis, satsangis, Sri Mahants, Mahants, Tanedar, Kotari, visitors, viewers, Sarvanyapita Yajamans, Sarvanyapita Kartas, manifestors, Sarvaparityagis, Sri Mahants, Mahants, Kailasas, ministers, ambassadors, diplomats, e-diplomats, citizens, consulate generals and supporters, everyone sitting with us with my love and blessings. Paramashiva's message directly from Kailasa. The sacred secret science of Kayakalpa is Paramashiva's message directly from Kailasa to the whole humanity, to the whole world today. From today, Paramashiva will reveal the great sacred secret science of Kayakalpa. Understand? Search for healthy life, long life, healthy long life was done by human beings from time immemorial. Through their seeking, research, experiences, expertise, human beings have discovered many things to have long, healthy life in various civilizations. In Saraswati civilization, in Ganges civilization, in Hindu civilization, in African civilizations, in Egyptian civilizations, in various civilizations, a lot of things were invented, discovered, reinvented, rediscovered. But Paramashiva himself has revealed directly from Kailasa this sacred, secret science in Vedic agamic literatures. Now, last 2 years, Paramashiva has directly showered me with that science experientially. The last 2 years, from the time I left India, I can see very clearly. Whole day I sit in Samadhi, receive all these great truths, and read the scriptures, Shastras, realize the real meaning, in-depth meaning, and decode those Shastras. I have received so much from Paramashiva last more than 2 years. Now I will present everything to all of you in an organized way. During this research, revelations, and after Paramashiva reveals, studying the scriptures and decoding it, revealing to all of you in this whole work. Everything Paramashiva revealed, I'll share it with you all. In this work, I have also spent little time in studying what various other cultures, other traditions, other researchers, human beings try to gather information through their research and development, through their thinking and collecting and organizing the data, whatever they did. I studied that also. Listen. Listen carefully. I am giving you the methodology through which Paramashiva revealed everything to me. First, as experience, he gave me this sacred, secret science. Once I started manifesting that in my life, I went through the sacred scriptures. In which Paramashiva has documented this knowledge. When I went through the Vedic agamic scriptures where Paramashiva has revealed this science in a detailed way, I understood the in-depth meaning. I understood the deeper meaning. The sacred secrets got revealed to me. I decoded the whole scriptures in a different level. Listen. When these revelations happened in me, I was so excited, inspired, energized. I tried to see various other knowledge traditions. Have they did any work in this field? What all the knowledge they have? After going through everything, the Atma Pramana given by Paramashiva and Shastra Pramana given by Paramashiva, then Apta Pramana, the great masters, earlier incarnations of Paramashiva and the enlightened beings, all their Apta Pramanas and various other knowledge traditions, their experiences and expertise. After going through all this, I realized the best ultimate sacred secrets about health, long life, healthy long life. The secret science for healthy long life is revealed in its best form in Veda Agamic literatures. In Hindu traditions, Siddha, Ayurveda literatures, the Upa Veda and Upa Agama literatures. Now, I'll start presenting all of it in a very organized way. In a very presentable way, in a very user-friendly way, to all of you in the satsangs. First and foremost, let's bow down to Ganapati, who is the manifestation, the greatest manifestation of Paramashiva. Listen. Out of your consciousness, you 3D printed, consciously 3D printed this physical structure, Annamaya Kosha, breathing structure, Pranamaya Kosha, mental structure, Manomaya Kosha, cognition structure, Vijnanamaya Kosha, conscious structure, Anandamaya Kosha, from your superconsciousness, from your core, Paramashiva himself. Understand? Because you printed, you have powers to reprint, alter, evolve, rejuvenate, rebuild any part or fully. Next. I studied not just the Kayakalpa science revealed by Paramashiva in Veda Agama Shastras, not only I decoded, realized the deeper sacred secrets of Veda Agamic scriptures, the Kayakalpa science presented in Ayurvedic Siddha literatures. I also studied how it is practiced in other knowledge traditions like a mucus-free diet and intermittent fasting. All these kind of various knowledge sources how the hormones and chemicals in your body, when it goes up or down, how they behave, how they make you behave, how your behavior with yourself and with the society makes you experience yourself and how that impacts your hormones and chemicals in turn, how this becomes either vicious circle or virtuous circle. I studied everything. First secret I want all of you to know: continuously give love. You will live long, healthily. Listen to this first secret. Love everyone. Go on be loving as many people as possible, as many things as possible. Expand your zone of love. Expand your space of love. I tell you, love is such powerful energy. When you give the smile and love, the way others respond to you, react to you, and the way you start feeling about yourself, and the way again you experience you, and the kind of chemicals and hormones you release inside you, and the way you feel secured about yourself and others, it just becomes virtuous circle. Listen carefully. Giving love to yourself, giving love to others, more and more people, more and more situations, more and more beings giving love, taking intense decisions to enrich world, enrich others, Tyaga. Tyaga removes all the negativity from not only your mind, it removes negativity even from your intestine. The parasites, microbes from your intestine gets cleaned. Gets cleaned. When you start smiling at people, loving people, giving security to people, making people feel secured about you, with you, around you, you can learn this. If you observe my lifestyle sincerely, intensely, you can learn this. Listen carefully. The only reason I am working, active, alive, continuously, my sincere tyaga, sacrifice, love. Last 26 years we have a documented history of my life. See, my whole 43 years is the great tyaga, hard work of my gurus. But 26 years we have documentation available. The work I am doing continuously active, alive, repeatedly. How many times people try to break me? Not only I don't get disturbed, not only I don't fight back with them, not only I don't vomit any violence or anger, disturb my identity due to them, I just make them irrelevant in my life and continuously work. Do what I need to do. If you study Nithyananda Pedia, the whole documentation of my life, you will understand what I am saying. More than 26 years, sincere, intense work is just because of my simple love and simple dedication, sincere tyaga. Not for name and fame. And actually I did not get the name and fame. I only got blamed. I only got accused. I did not get name and fame. So So nobody can say I worked because for name and fame. Who got name and fame? last 10 years especially, being beaten left and right, accused, and assassination attempts, murder attempts, or any other. Every possible lawfare, cyberbullying, every possible problems were dumped on me. And whatever wealth gathered around me, the organization I built, everything was taken away from me. Everything was stolen and torn to pieces. I did not get anything. But still, I continue to work, and highly excited, highly inspired, intense, only getting more and more intense, sincere in my decisions, in my actions. I am taking my profession more and more seriously, my mission more and more seriously. Bring intense love to your being, you will have such high life energy. I tell you, the life energy is called Ojas and Tejas. The life energy which comes by your intense decisions and intense actions is called Ojas and Tejas. More you love, the reward for the love is you will have more love. The reward for tyaga, you will become a greater tyagi. Reward for sacrifice, you will do more sacrifice. Reward for work is you will do more work. When you, please listen. Reward for love is more love. Reward for sacrifice is more sacrifice. Reward for work is you will get more work. That's all is the reward, and I am happy about it. I sincerely did my first ashram, Tiruchengoda Adinam. That gave me more work to run more Adinams. Then I started sincerely building Bididi. That gave me more work and more love, more sacrifice. Now I am building Kailasa with the grace of Paramashiva. Listen. Love is the source energy. Don't underestimate the power of love. Just few minutes during my puja, I remember my Guru Arunagiri Yogeshwara's love for me and my love for him. That's it, the elixir, the nectar gets released in my brain, and the side effect and after effect of that elixir, that nectar, Amrita Tara from my brain, it keeps me alive, joyful, inspired, excited, blissful for next 48 hours. But within 24 hours, again I do one more puja. Just few minutes of my puja. Remembrance of my feeling connection. Just the replay of my love with my Guru. The way I rule over him and the way he held me. That's it. I tell you, that few minutes of my loving, feeling connection, oneness with Arunagiri Yogeshwara is like an internal organ body wash. The way the nectar pours inside my being, it just does a powerful internal organs body wash. So the first and foremost truth I'll tell you is love is the power for healthy, long life. Love is the power for healthy, long life. I just know he himself, who is Paramashiva, source of all knowledge, held me to manifest the best as my life. Oh God, he held me in his palms and still holding me in his palms, making me manifest himself, his own being. Love is the first ingredient you need to add to make you live healthy long. Next, what is the best food? I thoroughly studied with the grace of Paramashiva, a thorough study. The best food is all the things your body has already collected, processed and stored inside you. Whether the fat or anything your body has already stored inside you is the best food for your body. It means if you want to become healthy and live long, allow body to eat all the things it has already procured and stored inside. Stop dumping too much food from outside. Allow body to eat itself. See, if you store too much grains and don't use it, rats can come, so many things can happen and it can become poison. Same way, the fat, undigested food, many things which is stored inside you, if you don't eat them, if you don't use them up, or if you don't flush them out, They can become poison. Best thing, allow your body to eat itself. Everything it has collected, accumulated and kept inside, and whatever it cannot eat, digest, make it as part of itself, let it send it out, let it flush it out. The most powerful, important, best food for your body is what your body has already accumulated and stored inside. At least 2 days every week, allow your body to eat itself. Lankanam parama aushadam. Fasting is the greatest medicine. Lankanam parama aushadam. Allow your body to eat itself. If you just stop eating 2 days a week, maybe you can take it like 1 day for Paramashiva, 1 day for Guru. That's it. Just 2 days in a week. Stop eating. Then your body will start eating itself. And if you just juice, drink herbs, herbal teas and juices, there are even herbal coffees, herbs added hot chocolates, you can drink any of that. It will not only eat itself, whatever the body feels it can't eat or digest, it will just flush all of that out. I tell you, the best food for your body, for healthy long life is whatever is collected and stored inside your body by your body. Allow your body to eat that. Lankanam parama aushadam. Whether your problems are as simple as migraine, some knee pain, small back pain, or as difficult and complicated situation as cancers. Any level, any problem, any disease, I tell you, Lankanam parama aushadam, like ahimsa paramo dharmaha. Among the dharma, ahimsa is the parama dharma. Among the medicines, fasting, lankanam, is parama aushada. Among the aushadas, lankanam is parama aushada. I am going to give you a lot of detailed tips, instructions for a healthy long life. I wanted to tell you all, my disciples do not die. my disciples do not perish. Not only I claim I am going to make healthy long life as a lifestyle of Kailasa. Lifestyle of Kailasa. We have so much of knowledge. And I have so many thousands and thousands of disciples from all over the world who really want to live long because they want to live with me. I am young and I am going to live quite a long time, at least 150 years more. I am very clear. I have a clear plan. At least 150 years more. Earlier I was thinking 126. Now I changed my plan. After this Kayakalpa experience, last 2 years, now I got the confidence I am going to live for quite a long time. So now 43, at least 150 years more. It means almost like 193, more than 193. It's not even like exactly 150 years. At least 150 years more. I tell you. Isavasya Upanishad very beautifully says, Chadaggun Samaha means live hundreds of years happily. The first Upanishad. Such intense life positive. Live hundreds of years. It is not just 100, 100, no. Hundreds of years. Sadaggun Samaha. The true meaning of that word is live hundreds of years. Not only I am claiming the immortality, I am going to make this as a science for Kailasa. Anyone walks into Kailasa and asks how long you are living, as per the medical certificates and documents, I am living for last 300 years. That's the way people should talk. That is the way the system will be evolved. I tell you. You don't need to die. Mediocre people are brainwashed to live a mediocre life and die in a middle age, 150 years. 150 years is a middle age. And if you die 100 years, by 100, you died very young. Untimely death. This eating every day itself is a mediocre lifestyle. You have been brainwashed. The great saint from the Shaivite tradition, Tiruvulluvar, he says beautifully, மருந்தென வேண்டாவாம் யாக்கைக்கு அருந்தியது அற்றது போற்றி உணின். You don't need any medicine for your body. If you just know whatever you took inside has already left your body and then take the next meal or food. மருந்தென வேண்டாவாம் யாக்கைக்கு அருந்தியது அற்றது போற்றி உனின். Whatever you ate, make sure it already left your body. You are clean, fresh. Then take the next meal. I tell you, you are what you eat. You are what you eat. So be extremely sincere. Extremely sincere about what you eat. Next, always have higher intention for your fasting. See, the parasites and microbes in your body are more powerful than your mental intentions, than your sankalpa. But if you make your sankalpa as Shiva sankalpa, for example, if you do intermittent fasting for the sake of health, I challenge you will fail. I have seen enough people trying and failing. Because the parasites sitting inside your stomach, the kind of the visualization they release when the hunger chemicals are activated in the body, the kind of the visual picture about the food items they release in your brain, you just forget all your intermittent fasting. You simply eat. Only after you finish eating, you start repenting. Oh God, I drank high sugar juices and my constipation started. This is the regular routine of Tattvapriya I am describing. I tell you, these parasites and microbes sitting inside your stomach, the kind of the visualization they release inside your brain and break your sankalpa, your resolution, and forcibly make you eat. You will come back to your sense only after you eat. So these intermittent fasting ideas do not work. Make your sankalpa into Shiva sankalpa by making the fasting as vrata. See, you are feeling connection with Paramashiva. It will have many layers of your emotions associated with it. The intensity of your relationship with Paramashiva, it will have love, it will have little even fear, it will have some kind of a devotion, begging, prayer, greed, fear. So many, almost all emotions mixed together. Use the strength of your relationship with Paramashiva for empowering your sankalpa. That is what is called Mama Sankalpam Shiva Sankalpamastu. Making my sankalpa into Shiva Sankalpa. Use your relationship with Paramashiva to strengthen your conscious resolution. That is what is making your sankalpa into Shiva Sankalpa. Only if you bring the religious commitment, your relationship with God, Paramashiva, into your sankalpa of fasting or diet control, you will have the strength not to get disturbed, shaken, failed, collapsed by the parasites and microbes sitting inside you, sitting inside your biomemory. Understand? When the sex hormones are high in your body, how the parasites and microbes sitting in your body releases intense visualizations and forces you to act out. Same way, when the hunger related chemicals are rushing inside your body, the parasites and microbes releases intense visualization about the food and eating. Actually, when the hunger comes, you even smell idli and chutney. You literally smell, not just see. And if you try to take a nap, in the dream you will be eating. And simply your resolution breaks. Without the cementing, reinforcing, RCCing of the religious experience, your strength of your relationship with God, Paramashiva, you will never succeed in things related to your food, sex, and obsessive compulsive behaviors. It can be fear related or phobic related issues. All these three: food, sex, phobias. In all these three, you need to use the strength of your relationship with God, Paramashiva, to make your sankalpa into Shiva sankalpa, to get out of the problems created by the parasites and microbes sitting inside you. Hunger is not just a play of some chemicals and hormones. When those chemicals are released in your body, it triggers the parasites and microbes sitting inside your body, which has a multiple powers and capacities to destabilize you by attacking you physically, emotionally, mentally, psychologically, in multi-level. Sometimes you even start hating yourself for not able to eat what you want and do fasting. Why should I even live if I can't eat what I want? Hey, you should not eat to live the way you want. You are asked to maintain the diet to have a healthy, long life. But you think a healthy diet and lifestyle is kind of a punishment, and you feel, better to die early by eating whatever we want than to keep this diet and fasting and living a healthy, long life. What is the use? Even if I live healthy, long life without eating all this. What an extreme life negative ideas and thoughts encouraged, released, empowered by the parasites and microbes sitting inside you. Just see. I tell you, use your relationship with God to cement, bolster, empower your Sankalpa into Shiva Sankalpa, Mama Sankalpa into Shiva Sankalpa. I'll tell you one intimate incident happened very recently. I was talking to one of my daughter, whom I really would love to see around me, near me, when I leave the body and go to Kailasa, Maha Kailasa. I may want her next to me and transmit all the powers I wanted her to have and continue this mission. That kind of a person whom I really, really sincerely love and hope and trust as part of me. She was asking me, Swamiji, I want to live as long as you live. Tell me, what should I do? To her, I gave this instruction. Understand, it means this is the ultimate instruction, truth. I can say this is like the essence of this whole Kayakalpa, royal, sacred, secret science. I gave her the first instruction for you is do Pachapattini Viratham. See, in next few days, Parashakti herself is going to start the Pachapattini Vratam, and with Ganapati's grace, with the grace of Ganapati, Paramashiva, Parashakti, I will also be doing the Pachapattini Vratam. Who whoever wants to live healthy, long life, come on, let's do Pachapatni Vratam. Let's start Pachapatni Vratam. This time we have a detailed instructions. From Samayapuram Mahamariyamman temple, how the Pachapatni Vratam is done. It is 28 days, starting 7th March. Let us all do from all over the world. As a Sangha, Kailasa, not only let us all do the Pachapatni Vratam, let us enrich the whole world, as many people as possible, to do Pachapatni Vratam. All over the world. First thing, understand, with the grace of Ganapati, Paramashiva, Parashakti, Mahamari, it is very easy. Not at all difficult. She herself is doing, creating such beautiful ecosystem. When she is doing, it is so easy for all of us to do. And I will also be doing this time. It is not just ordinary fasting. You are given as prasadam of Devi special food. Like fruits, maavu, velakku maavu, maavilakku maavu, panagam, salt-free buttermilk. All these does multi-level cleansing, detox. It makes your body to eat itself. All the unnecessary fat, everything collected and stored will be eaten and cleansed. Next important thing. Whatever your body can't eat and digest, it will flush it out. All the parasites and microbes will leave your system. I tell you, the Mahamayi, Mahamari's blessings, Parashakti's blessings, will be on all of us. Let us all do the Pachapatni Vratam. The landing page is ready. You can register for more details. It is free. It is completely free. Actually, I am opening all the ashrams in Tamil Nadu. All the ashrams in Tamil Nadu. Tiruvannamalai, Madurai, Salem, Siragapadi, Rajapalayam, all ashrams in Tamil Nadu. I am opening it. Any of you want to do Pachapatni Vratam, you can come to any of our ashrams to have the support of the ecosystem. You see, when you do it on your own, in your home, you may get tempted, disturbed, and you may not get that exact right diet. But in the ashram, you will have a beautiful ecosystem and everything needed. I am opening the doors of all Tamil Nadu ashrams. And I also wanted to make it very clear. The Bididi, Bangalore, Adi Kailasa is reserved only for the international sannyas trainees. I am making the Adi Kailasa campus especially for Gurukul and sannyas training of men and women from all over the world. The international people from all over the world, men, women, want to have sannyas training. Only for that purpose, Gurukul and sannyas training. Only for that purpose, the Bidadi campus is reserved. Adi Kailasa is reserved. Adi Kailasa may not be open for public forever. Not just because of this corona. Even after the corona lockdown is over, I decided I will not open the Adi Kailasa Bidadi campus for public. Adi Kailasa is reserved only for Gurukul and sannyas training of men, women from all over the world. It's no more open for public. If you are a public and if you have seen Adi Kailasa, that's it. From now you can't see Adi Kailasa anymore physically. You can see through Zoom when they do the pujas, rituals, virtual tours, you can see. But Adi Kailasa is only for sannyas trainees, Abhat sannyasis, Krama brahmacharis, sannyas trainees of and Gurukul. Brahmacharis, Abhat sannyasis, Krama brahmacharis, Naishtika brahmacharis, sannyasis, men, women both. Only for sannyas training, the Adi Kailas is reserved. People from all over the world can come and have sannyas training. So Adi Kailas will not be opened for public forever. I am going to make that campus as unique energy field where only sannyasis live. The ecosystem is so pure, a powerful ecosystem of no powerlessness related to food, sex, fears, all three. So it's going to be pure sannyas ecosystem, Adi Kailasa. But all the Tamil Nadu ashrams, I am opening it. Thiruvannamalai, Eerodu, Tiruchengodadinam. And Salem, Madurai, Rajapalayam, Sieragappadi, I think almost every district headquarters we have ashrams. I am opening all these ashrams, Trishulam, all these ashrams to anyone who want to do Pachapatni Vratam. You can simply come, stay for 28 days. We will do puja to Mahamari, Samayabarattu Mahamai, and give you the prasadam you need to take during the Pachapatni Vratam. And provide you a very beautiful, powerful spiritual atmosphere, ambience for you to do the Pachapatni Vratam. If you are in Thiruvannamalai ashram, you can go around the hill Girivalam every day. If you are in Madurai, our branch Kailasa in Madurai, you can have darshan of Meenakshi and Sundareshwara every day. If you are in Salem ashram, you can go and have the Kailasanadar, Tarapuram, the Kailasanadar temple darshan. I think Tarasuram maybe, Tarapuram or Tarasuram. That Kailasanadar temple, you can have his darshan every day. If you are in Rajapalayam, you can have the darshan of Vaidishwara, Vaidyanatha Swami and Vellibuttur Andal every day. And even Hyderabad ashram I am opening for the Pachapatni Vratam Even the palace, the Ichapuram palace of Suryavamsa Surangi Samrajyam, palace also will be open for people to come and observe the Pachapattini Vratam. Other than the Bidadi campus, almost all ashrams I am opening it. Other than the Adi Kailasa, I am opening all the ashrams for people to come and do Pachapattini Vratam. Malaysia campus also will be opened. Any devotee from Malaysia want to observe Pachapattini Vratam, you can come and stay in Malaysia ashram and do Pachapattini Vratam. Alangulam Adinam. In Kerala we have a ashram in Kozhikode and Thrissur. The Kozhikode ashram also will be opened. Anyone wants to do Pachapattini Vratam can come to any of our ashrams, Adinams, campuses other than Adi Kailasa in India, Malaysia and Singapore and even Mauritius, but not in US and Canada. US and Canada we can't accommodate anyone, not in USA or Canada. All the ashrams in India, Mauritius, Malaysia, Singapore will accommodate other than Adi Kailasa Bidadi. People who want to do Pachapattini Vratam for all 28 days. You can even come one day ahead and stay after 28 days, few days. It's up to you. We will provide everything needed for you to successfully complete the Pachapattini Vratam, including the spiritual ecosystem, ambience, which is very important for completing this kind of a great vows of Pachapattini Vratam. So, in India, all the ashrams other than Adi Kailasa, even Kashi will be opened. Kashi, Trishulam, Tiruvannamalai, Kerala, Kozhikode, Adinam, and Hyderabad Adinam in Telangana, and Ichapuram Palace in Andhra Pradesh, everywhere. Other than Adi Kailasa, all campuses are open for the people who want to do Pachapattini Vratam. All the Adinams prepare. Have a beautiful big portrait of Samayapuram Mahamayi and Tiruvannamalai Mahamariyamman, both. And start collecting all the things needed, stock everything. Enrich as many people as you want, as you can. I feel we should do at least 10 lakh million people all over the world should do Pachapattini Vratam. This is the best way to start the Kayakalpa. If you are too poor, you don't even have the travel expense from your place to our nearest Adinam. We can give you the travel expense if it is inside the country. Like somebody in India want to travel to any one of our Adinam to do the Pachapattini Vratam, we can support you inside that country for travel expense. Somebody in Malaysia want to come to Malaysia Adinam and stay for 28 days and do Pachapattini Vratam, we can support that travel expense inside that country. Not from outside the country, inside that countries. So Mauritius Adinam, Malaysia Adinam, Singapore Adinam, and all the Adinams in India other than Adi Kailasa will be open for Pachapattini Vratam. From 7th March we will be starting. 28 days. Parashakti, Mahamaya herself is doing. So let us do along with her. She will make it successful for us. This is a best first step towards Kayakalpa. Healthy, long living. The best possible healthy, long living science is available in Veda-agamic scriptures. Many knowledge sources, many countries, many traditions tried. The best secrets are available in Veda-agamic traditions, Veda-agamic scriptures. I will reveal everything and make it as user-friendly, experiential. In further satsangs, whoever wants to join the Pachapatni Vratam, raise your hand and register today itself. Don't allow your mind to waver. Raise your hand and register today itself. Whoever wants to do the Pachapatni Vratam, raise your hand and register today itself and start enriching the world to do the Pachapatni Vratam. So this is the best, beautiful beginning for Kayakalpa. Great. Register today itself and start enriching others also for this great Pachapatni Vratam. Yes. So that the healthy long life starts for all of us. Yes. And great. Wonderful. Let's start enriching the world to do Pachapatni Vratam from today. Project this landing page.
न खलु कुशलः स्पन्दितुमपि अतस्त्वामाराध्यां हरिहरविरिञ्चादिभिरपि प्रणन्तुं स्तोतुं वा कथं कथमकृतपुण्यप्रभवति तनीयां सम्पांसुं तव चरणपङ्केरुहभवं विरिञ्चे सञ्चिन्वन् विरचयति लोकानविकलम् वहत्येनं शौरी कथमपि सहस्रेण शिरसां हरसं शुद्ध्यैनं भजति भासितो धूलनविधिम् अविद्यानामन्तस्तिमिरमिहिरद्वीपनगरी जटानां चैतन्यस्तबकमकरन्.
So with this, I bless you all. Let's all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living, Shuddhatvaita Saivam. The state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness, and Kailasa of Paramashiva. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. The eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.
श्रीकैलासोन्नतद्वादशान्तश्यामलापीठारूढ श्रीमीनाक्षिसुन्दरेश्वरा भिन्नस्वरूप परशिवपुत्ररत्न कुमार गुरुमण्यतुल्यावतार श्रीपार्वतीस्तन्यपानलब्धदिव्यज्ञान विश्रुतसकलनिगमागमसारभूतद्राविडवेदप्रवक्त्रे श्रीमत्परमशिवकरुणासमधिगतमुक्तामयचतुरश्रयान् गीयमानछत्रचामर श्रीचिह्नकाहलादिसमस्तबिरदावल्यलङ्कृत ज्ञानविज्ञानचक्रवर्ती सर्वजनसङ्घसद्यो निर्वाणदीक्षाव्ययापवर्गवर्ष विश्राण जीमूत परमतकलभकेसरी शैवसिद्धान्तस्थापनाचार्य श्रीराजाधिराजपाण्ड्यमहाराजगुरु क्षपणशाक्यादिमहान्धकारनिवारणज्ञानभानु वीक्षणानर्हार्हध्वजोच्छेदनपूर्वक श्रीमद्वृषभध्वजस्थापक शैवसमयकर्त्रे सर्वज्ञपीठारूढ श्रीजगद्गुरु श्रीज्ञानसम्बन्धदेशिकस्वामि वागीशसुन्दरमाणिक्यवाचकस्वामिनाम् अवतारभूत श्रीज्ञानसम्बन्धस्वामि पुनरुद्धृत श्यामलापीठ सर्वज्ञपीठ त्रिनवत्युत्तरद्विशततम गुरुमहासन्निधान अरुणगिरियोगीश्वर परम्परागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञपीठ गुरुमहासन्निधान कैलास परम्परागत काञ्ची कैलास सर्वज्ञपीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तरद्विशततम गुरुमहासन्निधान नित्योत्सव नित्यमङ्गल नित्यकल्याण नित्यरजित कैलास परम्परागत आदिकैलास नित्यानन्दपीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासनपीठकर्तः साक्षात् श्रीपरमशिव समुद्भूत कैलास परम्परागत वैवस्वतमनु इक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चन्द्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचन्द्र शूरसेन इत्यादि अनवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ति परम्परागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मण्डित चतुष्षष्टि सम्प्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्मशासन सूर्यवंशप्राप्त सर्वज्ञपीठसुराङ्गिसाम्राज्यमूर्धाभिषिक्तचूडामणे साक्षात् श्रीपरमशिवसमुद्भूत कपिलमहागुरुपुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणिपीठ अष्टोत्तरसहस्र श्रीमहामण्डलेश्वर साक्षात् श्रीपरमशिवसिंहासनाभिषिक्त समस्तगणनायक श्रीमहागणपतिसमारम्भ अनवच्छिन्नपीठाधीश्वर गुरुपरम्परा प्राप्त अटलपीठ अष्टोत्तरसहस्र श्री अटलपीठाधीश्वर धर्ममुक्तिस्वर्गपुरस्वर्णपीठ त्रयोविंश गुरुमहासन्निधान कैलासपरम्परागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञपीठ जगद्गुरो श्रीकैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्रीकैलासपरमाचार्य श्रीमत्परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्यवर्य सच्चिदानन्द प्रणवस्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमज्जगद्गुरु श्रीलश्री भगवच्छ्री नित्यानन्द परमशिव श्री ज्ञानसम्बन्धदेशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिन् अत्रागत्य परिपाल्य च अस्मान् विज्ञानवितरणेन विजयी भव जय जय